All right, what is going on, YouTube? We got a brand new video. Now, in this one, we're going to be talking about the history of money, some Federal Reserve acts, and how it all ties into Quant and the new Cbdc that's coming. Now, stick around to the end of the video because this is actually very important. I've spent the past 3 hours kind of going down this rabbit hole to make a video on all this. So I got all the tabs right here ready to talk about. Now, number one, right off the bat, the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. Now, I want to explain this and everything else I'm about to talk about in detail. I kind of hint at them in my videos, but I want us to be on the same page, right? I want you guys to actually understand this so you're not scared when Quant goes to $89 and you'll actually start, buying more. Now, again, this video is not financial advice. This is just information that I think is beneficial to you, right? So, the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. Now, this is funny because this is on the Federal Reserve website. Now, we're going to go to my little notepad right here. So, this is my writing. So, in 1912, there was a banking crisis caused by the bankers to introduce the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. So, this was the solution, right, to the banking crisis, which basically we caused ourselves, all right? And they're saying we're going to be safer, more flexible, more stable, blah, blah, blah. This is just so we could be more safe and stable. Now, this is kind of weird how they state that, but then you go and actually learn about what is fractional reserve banking, because all they did was just go to fractional reserve banking right here, but they don't actually state it. Isn't that weird? The whole Federal Reserve Act of 1913 was to go to fractional reserve banking, but they don't even mention it on the Federal Reserve website. It's almost as if they don't want you to actually know about fractional reserve banking. Now, there's a very sinister thing with fractional reserve banking, which is still practiced today. All right, so this is why it's sinister and very evil. So, basically, you could take money, right, that doesn't even exist and distribute it to clientele, aka you, right? So, here's the definition: a system in which only a fraction of bank deposits are required to be available for withdrawal. So you don't need to have actually all the money to withdraw it, which is very shady. And now we're going into Ponzi scheme land, guys. Ponzi scheme land. So basically it says it expands the economy, but expansion basically means a bubble, right? So this is something worth noting. On March 26, 2020, the Federal Reserve reduced reserve requirements for all depository institutions to zero. Instead, banks are now paid a specific interest rate on their reserve balance to encourage holding reserves, right? The reason why they're doing this is because they don't want a bank run to happen, guys. That's the moral of the story. They don't want a bank run to happen, because when a bank run happens, if everybody wants to pull their money out, the whole entire system would basically collapse because it's all fake money. They're relying upon you to hold your money in the bank and just be a retard, basically, right? So if everybody actually becomes smart and takes their money out of the Ponzi scheme, well, the Ponzi scheme was just going to collapse. It doesn't have a foundation to sit upon. It'd be like taking a big skyscraper and taking the first 6 floors away, right? All those other 80 floors are going to collapse without the first 6 floors, right? That's just basically logic, right? So fractional reserve banking is bad, guys, because if you have a whole system built upon money that you don't even have, the building is going to collapse. I mean, it's just common sense, right? So, moving forward, Richard Nixon. In 1971, to curb inflation and prevent foreign nations from overburdening the system, for your safety, right? That's basically what they said. For your safety, we're going to take away gold from the dollar, right? For safety of the monetary system. Ooh, fancy word, right? That's basically what they did. And yeah, they just fucking became more sinister somehow. And then now we go into this, which is how America started. And a lot of people don't know this, guys, but gold being backed to the dollar and silver being backed to the dollar, those are constitutional, right? Gold and silver being backed to money is constitutional. So that's why when JFK wanted to go back to the gold standard, that's why they shot and killed him, right? So this is very sinister, very heinous, very anti-constitutional. You know, a lot of communism is coming back, and this is exactly what they were trying to avoid. So the Coinage Act of 1792, when America was founded, also known as the Mint Act, was a significant piece of legislation passed by the United States. The act played a crucial role in establishing the nation's coinage system and monetary standards during its early years. Some key provisions and aspects of the Coinage Act of 1792 were to establish the U.S. Mint, right? They were just trying to get this shit off the ground, get it going. But as you guys know, this obviously did not last because now we are in a completely new system. All right, so now going back to what I said about how they want to avoid a bank run because the whole system is basically a Ponzi scheme from fractional reserve banking. Now, since it is a whole Ponzi scheme from fractional reserve banking, how do we get to a CBDC? Well, guys, this is very important to know. Because same deal, like the fractional reserve banking, how it's for your safety. We're going to go right here. The Federal Reserve is committed to ensuring the continued safety and availability of cash and is considering a CBDC as means to expand safe payment options, not to reduce or replace them. The Federal Reserve literally sounds like a shady car salesman. For your safety, we're going to introduce a CBDC. This is what they do. Same with COVID, same with everything. They bundle it into a safety aspect. For your safety, we'll tell you when to breathe oxygen. For your safety, we'll tell you when to leave your house. For your safety, blah, blah, blah. For your safety, we'll tell you when to wipe your own asshole, right? So, it's pretty fucked, guys. They just take it and repackage it as safety. So, here comes the CBDCs, guys, as a safe means, right? So, it says it's not to reduce or replace them. They're like, look, guys, we're not going to replace cash. Relax. We're not going to do that. But for the safety of you, we're going to look into a CBDC. So it's pretty obvious CBDCs are coming, right? So, you know, I've stated this on my channel before. We all know this. But I just want to show you guys, same deal with fractional reserve banking. They introduced it in 1913 saying, hey, look, this is to help you guys. This is safe. Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, everybody in the 1913s is like, okay, fuck it. Boom. Fractional reserve banking. Then guess what? You get the roaring 20s because you have a fucking Ponzi scheme, basically. And then, you know, you had the Great Depression in the 30s. And it was a direct result because of this. And now we have a fucking entire system that's inflated now. And the one solution is going to be CBDCs. They like created the problem and gave you the solution. And now you want to suck their cocks. All right, that's the average American citizen. So yeah, how this plays into Quant, guys, this is how we got here. Is that the CBDCs are coming. All right, they are coming. And Quant's there. We are here, guys. We're fucking here. We're only at $1 billion market cap, dude. I love it. So a little history lesson for you guys. I want you to understand more about money. So when shit like this happens, you could stick to your thesis and start investing properly. And also, guys, CBDCs are not constitutional at all. All right? Literally, the people that wrote the Constitution warned of this, right? They literally warned right here. It says, the founding father of America, the guy that made America, right, who knows about corrupt people, who took basically his freedom, made a new system called America from the old corrupt individuals of Great Britain, right? So he knows what corrupt individuals do. So he's trying to warn you, the American citizen in the future, he's trying to warn you of what to look for in the future. And he says, I sincerely believe that banking institutions are more dangerous to our liberties than standing armies. The issuing power should be taken from the banks and restored to the people to whom it properly belongs. Now, if you guys know what a CBDC is the opposite of this quote that our founding father of America told you and warned you about, right? So I want you to know, guys, we're already way past the point of return here, all right? So fucking just buy into the corruption. Afterwards, buy property, help your family. Dark times are coming, guys. Very dark times. All right. So that's basically it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Sorry to end on a bad note, but I just wanted to make this video. All right.